Hello everyone, it's Turin here, and today guys, I'm here with another Total War Warhammer live battlecast. In this game, we're going to play the Dwarves, and we're going to do a very kind of elite army. We're actually going to use the front line of all Ironbreakers, and though it might not be optimal against the Empire, you know what, we're going to give it a try and see if we can make it work. So let's put him on his anvil, and do we want to give him the rune of, yeah, it's probably not that good, only lasts 25 seconds, so... as far as that, do we want to get the Locus of Power, which gives, what does that do? An additional 15% magic resistance map-wide. I guess that's not bad. I mean, the Empire could have some shenanigans, and, you know, why not? Let's just do it. It's not that expensive. So, okay, so we're going to put him on the anvil. He's ready to party, and let's go ahead and select the rest of our army. So we're going to get Norgrimlings here. We're going to get some Ironbreakers in the front line. Probably just 3 should be fine if we, like, spread them relatively thin. We're also going to get the Grumbling Guard, which are pretty much a staple. And, yeah, we're not going to sit on our laurels. This is going to be an aggressive Dawi army that actually pushes forward. So on top of that, do we want to get some of the Bugman's Rangers? They could actually be kind of fun. They do have the regeneration, and they are fast for a dwarf. So let's actually get 2 of them. Man, they're so much more expensive, though, but the regeneration could be pretty nice in a long, attritious battle. So yeah, let's just try 2 of them. We're going to mix it up and experiment a little bit. In the back line, we're going to get some miners just to help kind of absorb any charges that may come from, like, Cav or anything like that. On top of that, we're going to get 1 runesmith. We're going to kind of strip it down a little bit, and we're going to get another one and strip them both down, because I figured the big popper runesmith can kind of handle the big duties here, but one of them we do want to get these runes here just to kind of have those in auxiliary. So on top of that, let's go ahead and get some slayers to help out in the back line, and I think this should be okay. I don't know how I feel about the Bugman's Rangers. That's probably one pick I'm a little bit questionable about, so let's actually cut 1 and get some regular thunderers, and yeah, 3 miners. So if I cut 1, I could get like another group of like regular missiles, but I think this should be okay. I mean, it's not the best army, definitely not competitive, just for the record. But you know what, guys, it might work. The Napoleonic thing works okay against the Empire, but you know, I'm a little bit concerned about like advancing into handgunner fire and just getting last samurai. So I don't know. Let's hope for the best. I do have slayers. Slayers are always scary. They always do the trick. And the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, I do have 3 of them, so hopefully that'll do some pretty good damage across my opponent's front line. And we are fighting in the Lost Vault of King Lun. What I really do like against Empire, though, is the Gobblobber. It's so awesome. It's so good against infantry. Although he's probably, a lot of people, you know, it's kind of a bit of a... I feel like, oh, this is a cool map, actually. I don't know if I've played this one. Man, I was about to say something insightful, and then I just got, like, distracted by the glorious beard of this jolly old Dawi up here. This is a cool map. Goodness gracious. So yeah, it looks like you... It's a good thing there's these pits here, because it would be really annoying if people, like, set up shop in there and just, like, force you into that little catacomb right there. So, yeah, let's go ahead and set up our front line like so. These guys are ready to go, and we probably want to go a little bit wide, just a bit of a spaghetti type situation, just in case my opponent does have like artillery pieces. It really helps to kind of you know, lessen the effect of that. So let's get the runesmith here. We'll put 1 right here, and we'll put 1 right here on both sides. So it's a pretty scary little front line. On top of that, we're going to put the Bugman's Rangers. I would do a Vanguard, but honestly, I don't think it's that great of an idea in this situation, because the Empire has like a ton of mobility, so I don't want them to, like, you know, discover it and then just lose that whole unit. I mean, that's pretty much sealing your death warrant. So miners are just going to be fodder. When Cav come in, they're going to take the charge and, you know, allow the slayers to get in position from there. So let's go up and ready up, see what my opponent's army size is. So it's pretty big, so I'm expecting like halberdiers and perhaps some greatswords, maybe a group or 2, but a lot of Empire players don't get a ton of greatswords, but I really do like the Bugman's Rangers. They're so cool. The regeneration effect, the liquid fortification, it does not you know, cause improved, or it doesn't hurt your accuracy anymore like it used to. So guys, it's actually a little bit more viable now. So we're going to advance. He does have some handgunners in the back, so let's go ahead and advance while they're a little bit out of position. So I think that's going to be our best chance here. Nobody expects the Dawi to advance, so that's always a good thing. But unfortunately, he does have a darn steam tank, which is so annoying. I hate steam tanks. And he does also have Reichsguard in the back, which are okay. They don't have like heavy AP, so we shouldn't suffer too much. He has swordsmen, handgunners, all kinds of stuff, so hopefully he suffers from some obstruction. The Slayers aren't really a good choice here, but we probably want to send these Thunderers over to shoot at the steam tank, and then we'll bring Slayers to kind of like support. So yeah, because he might like jump on them with the Boris Todd, the Toadbringer himself, which wouldn't be a bad choice, but I think our front line can definitely outclass his. So let's put these guys in group 3, and yeah, that should be fine. So the Thunderers are going to get over there and start poking at the stank over there, which is pretty much one of our only options. I mean, you can chase it with Slayers, but it's still like horribly inefficient. So okay, so the Reichsguard should be coming around the back, so I just need to be aware of that for my miners, make sure they're on top of all that. So let's go ahead and start throwing some blasting charges here. We're going to need to get into melee pretty quick, though, because we can't afford to really like take the damage from the handgunners, who are, you know, pretty much now in position. So let's go ahead and advance these runesmiths here, get everyone going, everyone ready to party, and let's make sure these slayers are like up with the boys. So we're going to throw some charges here, which is going to be pretty cool. But man, oh, that shot did a ton of damage. That was devastating. Okay, so we get some charges in there, and we'll throw 1 volley, and then we're actually just going to push into melee. Let's go ahead and push in here and get these guys ready to go. We'll use a Rune of Wrath and Ruin here, and let's go ahead and use a Rune of Wrath and Ruin here. So our Bugman's Rangers, we can actually just use to kind of start shooting at those guys, and in the back, the Reichsguard are indeed coming around, so I need to be pretty aware of that. We do have the Thunder shooting at the steam tank, which is pretty much the most ideal of situations situations here. So we're going to have a Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Let's go ahead and pop that on those Halberdiers over there, which is a pretty decent little target. We'll pull these Miners in the back just to mirror the movement of my opponent's cav. So this is actually pretty good that the steam tank is getting shot down there. So good. So we're in the front lines. Go ahead and pop some fat, juicy runes. And now let's actually pull these guys around and see if we can like pressure that. But man, the Bugman's Rangers, let's move them into a more obstructed area. So the Reichsguard are, not happy about this situation, but he did jump me with his Lord, which is fine. So we're going to get these Miners engaged on these Reichsguard. We'll get our missiles kind of helping out as well. And do we have any extra runes of Wrath and Ruin? I think we've been pretty effective with using them. So man, that is so much firepower, but thankfully it's all going to waste on those Rangers who at least can heal a little bit. So once we get some Miners in the back line, some secret agent Miners, that should be okay. But yeah, this is a pretty rough trade here. So let's actually pull some Ironbreakers over here in the back and have them help out against these Reichsguard. And it looks like, yeah, the steam tank, was able to get healed, unfortunately, which is a really, really tough situation. So we're going to pull these over here. It looks like my opponent did lose interest, and unfortunately, these halberds are really, really holding the line. So let's go ahead and pop this, and yeah, the miners were able to push through, which is good. We probably want to make sure our Lord is like off on the side, so he's not getting like targeted there, because that's a really bad situation. So let's go ahead and pop another Rune of Wrath and Ruin here. Let's get my Lord kind of pushed over to the side, and the Rangers we can now start shooting here. Looks like the Thunders are continuing to shoot at that steam tank, and those darn Reichsguard are just getting crunk. But we're able to kind of tie them down a little bit. The Bugman's Rangers are now online. Shooting and doing their thing, and we do have this Runesmith here, so let's also pop this Rune of Wrath and Ruin. So the Miners doing a really good job. So let's just kind of like keep pushing them through and seeing how much pressure we can really get on our opponent's back line. So yeah, very, very pitched fight so far. Thunder's doing a great job, of course. And in the back, we do get the Slayers on the Reichsguard, which is exactly what we wanted. We're going to pull these guys over in the front here, and we need to be careful with this guy. I keep thinking he's Thorgrim, but he's not. So we really, really need to be on top of that. So the healing for my opponent is pretty strong, but in the front line, we've pretty much collapsed him, it looks like. So these guys are wavering, so in just a moment, they're going to be broken, essentially. So, yeah, our Slayers are continuing to chase off the Reichsguard, which is a very, very good situation for us. We are taking a little bit more damage here than we would like, but yeah, that's tough. That caster is actually going to get on us and do some pretty good work. So no Runes of Wrath and Ruin here, but let's go ahead and push through to the back line. We've essentially compromised him here. We're getting some great blasting charges here, so let's pull them into melee here. And yeah, he does get on us, unfortunately. So these guys can go ahead and push up here and fight in melee. And let's also pull these Miners to help out over there. I think that should be fine. And the Slayer is still just fighting tooth and nail there, which is great. So we do have a Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Let's use it on these Halberds, which are going to be a pretty good target there. So we'll keep pushing in here. And yeah, we have our fierce Dawi forces pushing into the back of this firing line, which is very, very essential. The steam tank is, getting around a little bit. So we might have to deal with some kiting with that, unfortunately. Let's use another Rune of Wrath and Ruin here. And I think our other guy unfortunately got sniped out a little bit. So we'll keep pushing in here. The Bugman's Ranger is actually healing up somewhat effectively. So do we want to shoot it as Lord here? I don't know if that's really even worth it, but I guess we will for now. So yeah, so the Miners, hopefully we can get them. Let's get these guys here. And the Slayer's just going deep on those guys over there. Just a wild cockfight. So still pushing in here. His Lord's in pretty good shape, but we have gotten into the back line, and we do have Ironbreakers, guys. We have Norgrimling's Ironbreakers, not to mention, like. So we're going to be able to crack his back line pretty efficiently, I think. So unfortunately, that darn steam tank is just getting healed, but we have a pretty fair amount of AP on it. So the steam tank thing is always just a nightmare to deal with. But the Slayers are able to rout off those Reichsguard in the back, so glorious. All right. The Dawi are putting up a good fight here, guys. We're not going to go quietly into this good night. So let's push these guys to send after these homies over here. Let's also pull these armor-piercing troops to help out with the Lord. And let's get these units, the remaining units here, to start fighting his Lord. So good. I think everything's going relatively to code. Let's pull these guys back to be on guard duty here. This darn steam tank is just such a menace. It's just going to be so difficult to kill. Even if I kill everything else, it's just like chasing that thing down is such a nightmare. So these guys are supposed to be chasing here. I must have accidentally moved them back. We do have another Rune of Wrath and Ruin, so let's go ahead and pop that there. He can go help out on the far side, and let's make sure these guys are chasing. Like, we really needed to take advantage of his troops being, kind of, out of position there. So his Lord's in good shape here. A lot of his troops in the back are kind of like coming back, but I think we want to push here and, just really make sure that, they can't come back, because he does have a ton of troops like right on the edge of the map here. So let's get these Miners here, continue to have them fight the steam tank, and we'll get those Slayers helping out as well. And yeah, I think we can just like push in right now and just do the deed. So his Lord's getting back here. He's going to troll me a little bit, but we'll pull these Miners in. We'll pull these guys, and it's not worth chasing him. I think what we do here is just force everything off the map that my opponent has, and then we can just move around as a unified Dawi force and just like put him out of commission. So good. Let's go ahead and take a look at everything. The steam tank is taking a little bit of a beating. The Slayers are definitely going to be good with their anti-large bonus. Not like excellent, but they should do the trick. So we'll have those guys turn fight. Let's actually run them back towards the main army right now, just to try and salvage any ranged we have at this point. And the Ironbreakers here are chasing them down. So come on, get those boys off the battlefield. No mercy. No mercy, lads. He does still have a Jade Wizard. Not a huge threat, but it looks like he actually surrendered at that point. So good stuff. Yeah, the Dawi Ironbreaker army worked. We got some nice blasting charges. We were able to kind of pressure a little bit. I liked it. It was fun. I like Dawi armies where you don't have to like sit back and hide, where you can actually like advance. It's very, very fun. So regardless, well played to my opponent Zabel. Look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that cast. Let me know if you want to see more Dwarves as always, and I will most certainly oblige. Thanks again for watching, guys, and have an excellent night.